Test. Test. Oh, yeah, there we go. Wrong input, though. Test. 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 Oh, yeah, here we go. Okay, so I definitely have to do that. See how the sound goes. Make sure y'all can hear stuff. I'm not seeing music yet. We're working on it, though. We're working on it. Shifting to B. No, that's not it. That's not it. Um, there we go. Yeah. All right, we're cooking now. All right. Welcome to day who knows how long. I started this project back in 2020 as a idea, and then I really kicked it off this year after being inspired by the idea combined with the happenings of the world, and specifically Ukraine and the war situation there that they're dealing with their neighbors. Um, what we're working on now is a track called Victim of War. I've been working on it for a while now, and I'm really happy with how it's turning out. It's freaking awesome. Let me get y'all pointed up a little more straight here. Yeah, there we go. So this track is a work in progress, but it's getting close. It is so close. And the last couple live streams, I inevitably end up going back, spending some time getting it retweaking things outside of a live stream context because sometimes I've got friends, family in here, and I don't. They don't want to really be part of the live stream, and nobody's watching these things right now, anyways. So I'm not going to inconvenience them on the behalf of people that don't exist. If that changes in the future, then about so be it. That would be freaking awesome. By the way, don't be discouraged. Please enjoy this stuff. I'm trying to be a composer, and I'm writing the music part, but I'm not engaging the public as well. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So this is Victim of War. I've done some tweaks already, and it will be probably a pretty short live stream today because I spent a lot of time installing all these snazzy new deals that are coming out because of Memorial Day weekend. There was a one I'm particularly excited about. It's called Clamor. Um, Shoot, what was it? Was by Minimal Audio. Uh, Pretty sure that was no, that wasn't Minimal Audio. That was it was somebody. But anyways, Google Clamor VST audio plugin, which is a uh thunderstorm plugin, and oh, what the heck, I'll just pull it up. I've been wanting to goof off with this anyways. Duplicate. We don't need to do any of that stuff. I'll purge that for now. I'll pull up Clamor. It's not in my plugins list. What the heck? Well, I didn't expect to debug this, but let's give it a try. See if I can fix it here and now. Plugins. Where is, apparently that's not the place to look. Under paths, no. It really should be plugins. VST. Yeah, that looks promising. Rescan VST paths for new modified plugins. There's some stuff I just updated. Let's see. Never quite know where that window is going to pop up. There it is. Okay, let's see. SoundLib. I know I installed this. Bisarma. Bisarma Audio. It was made by them. There's the VST3. Apparently, oh, I see what I had to do. Man, where am I supposed to put this then? Manual. Helps if I look at the manual. Let's take a look here and see. Requirements, installation, copy paste the DLL file and the instruments folder to VST plugins and VST3 and the instrument folder. Okay, so you keep the instrument folder together wherever you plop these things. I'm not going to put it in program files though because my C drive is packed to the gills and I can't afford that space. I have a dedicated drive for this kind of thing, and so that's where we're going to plop it. So this is Bisarma Audio. Plop that in there. So now we have the VST3 installed, and honestly, I don't even install the normal VST anymore. But I'm worried about not, yeah, I'm just not going to install that. I'll keep the DLL around just in case I decide to install it later, but for, I've got it backed up. I'm just not. Bye-bye. It's gone. I'll keep the license and the manual in here just in case, but no reason to keep that around. All right, let's re-scan and see if we can get that fixed. Apparently it's still scanning. Somebody's busy for something. There we go. Haha, Tonex is not responding. It's been doing that a lot today. It was doing that earlier, scanning plugins. I'm not using it. In fact, IK Multimedia has been a bit on my naughty list as of late. All right, there it goes. Because they like to install all the plugins that are available for a particular tool as different plugins, and I only own a chunk of them, not all of them. And so whenever, like 9 times out of 10, when I go to load something, it says, you are not authorized to use this plugin. I'm like, well, why were you in my plugins list then? It's a little frustrating. But anyways, Clamor. I want to hear what this sounds like. There it goes. Cool. Okay. Let's see. And there's the Clamor. Oh man. Okay, so nice and straightforward interface. Let's take a look at the actual track. We'll rename it to Thunderstorm. I am not planning on using Thunderstorm in this track, but we're exploring, and so that's half the fun of this. VSTs are so freaking awesome to work with. Let's glue everything together. And then I'm going to delete all that old stuff. I mean, really, I don't even have to do MIDI on this. Let's just arm it for record and see what happens. So we have thunder and rain. Okay, we're reading. We're not hearing, but we're reading. I probably have it muted because the old track. No, it's not muted. Where is your audio going? Where are you supposed to be going? You aren't muted. Definitely have audio happening. So where's it going? Oh, there's no sends on it. Well, it's a master send, so that should be working. Oh, I'm probably outside of there. Hey, there we go. a little bit of flipping, it sounds like, but that sounds pretty cool. That's cool. The thunder rolls. I don't know why it's doing that. I hope it's not goofed up again. Let's listen to the rest of the track. No, this has been a thing, and I thought I fixed this. This is the downside of streaming with the same computer as what you're doing, as what you're actually working on, because then you end up getting weird stuff happening. Oh man, what is going on here? So that's working. Like, let's put that into mono mode. That's what it should be. Why could it be sounding bad? Oh dear gosh. I can't work like that. What's happening? What's happening? What are we doing wrong? Because this guy is no longer... Do I have that audio device loading up for some reason? I shouldn't be. Oh, the joys of debugging. Audio. Let's see what we got in here. Anybody... I'm not interacting with my main audio interface, so it shouldn't be interfering with the audio. Oh my gosh, I don't want to have to do this. Shoot. I can try. All right. Oh, hey! All right, that fixed it. Okay, hopefully it stays there. Moving right back along now that we can actually hear this thing. Okay. You were not supposed to hear that. I was not supposed to hear that. I'm glad it's not feeding back. There we go. There we go. I had to disable the send on my main speakers, but now it's not working there. What the heck? Oh wait, no, it's working. Ah! Too much. Not bad, not bad. I'm guessing this octave is the... Oh, that's not an octave, that is A. Alright, that's just a real steady pour. It's more white noise than... It's a very tiny droplets. More your medium, pleasant storm. I wonder if it's variations with velocity. That was almost not enough. Okay. So that was kind of a... The small velocity didn't do much at all. Let's try... This was medium. Let's try pretty hard. Okay. Sounds like it's just getting louder. Yeah. Yeah, so that's loudness. That's just downpour. And that's another volume knob. Okay. Sounds like they got a low, a high pass filter going on too. And the lower it goes, the less low frequency we get. That's more your gentle, just steady downpour. Not bad, not bad. All right, let's hit them all at once. That's why we have limiters. All right, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So that's Clamor by Visarma Audio or Music, and that was a freebie. It's available. Visarma Audio. It's a freebie available from their website. If you're watching this, want to check it out, by all means do so. I found out about this from a audio plugin guy. .com basically. He's on, they do Facebook, they got a website, they got some Reddit channels, and I follow all of them. I kind of wish they had just a dedicated thing for, they have a basically weekly free plugins newsletter that they do, but they post on their website. It wasn't very, I subscribed to their newsletter, and to see if maybe that free plugin thing is included. I don't know. We'll find out. They haven't done a new release yet. Anyways, that's pretty cool. Nice little distraction. So I've been tweaking things, and I also got a new vocal track from Pseudonym. He has done a whole bunch of stuff basically doing a new take after we did a bunch of back and forth, like here's what I want to hear, here's what he wants to hear, and now that we're both together, he did a new take, and then he threw a whole bunch of new stuff in there too. So it sounds pretty cool. It'll be tricky working it all in. It's a pretty significant challenge, honestly. I usually work alone on these tracks, it's always, I have this problem in other places too. It's hard to make room for other people's thoughts when you're so into your own, as I am. And but vast majority of the time, new ideas end up with a better result. And so in this case, I'll be working on that tomorrow probably, because I've installed all the new plugins. I'm going to be doing some tweaks here, and I don't want to be doing, I don't want to be doing this for the rest of the night. I want to have some chill downtime too. So what we're working on now is, well, I'll share this with you, which is the forte piano going into the verse 3. It's been a little tricky getting it just right, but I've been, because, yeah, I'll just play it. That is not the forte piano going in. There we go. So cool. But let's see, there was, it's tricky because you don't want people be like, is the track done? The energy needs to be maintained going up to the dropout, which is the piano part, but I also don't want to strike and then fall back and then strike again, because that's not sounding very good either. Let's see what we can do with this. And so about, I think it's there. A little spike in volume. But that didn't sound right either. So I'm trying to find a good balance that keeps the energy and doesn't have it go stale on me, while still making sure there's plenty of people aren't getting tired of the antics by the time the forte piano happens. So right now we've got a very subtle swell going right about the point that I'm getting bored. Let's just hear that one more time. So a fast end isn't fast, is too stale. That's not fast enough. So let's do a fast start, but the problem with the fast start is it's going to... All right, let's go to solo on this so that I don't have to change all of them. So I think part of the problem is that once it gets to a certain volume, it stops sounding like it's getting louder. And so that's why it starts to get stale. So let's try that. Not bad. I kind of want, I definitely want the climax to begin back here. Jako spasa. I think that was neck 4, whatever. Close enough. So that at least keeps the energy going all the way through. -4. Ah, there it is. It was hidden. Maybe I want to try... I don't want to get louder, but I don't want to get louder than where we're headed. But I think we can safely bump that up, actually. So let's do that. Especially now that I'm doing more of a curve. Oh, let me take off solo so I can hear. Okay, okay. It needs to get quiet faster. A little faster. Because I start that crescendo earlier as well. So I need to make sure there's enough silence to go, hey, what happened? But not so much silence that the person starts to wonder if the track just glitched. All right, so let's throw that in there. I like where this is going, but I need to hear it in full context. Oh, that's not the right shape. Fast end. There we go. Delete the extra point. There we go. Delete, delete. Set point shape, fast end. And what I'm doing here is just changing the shape of the crescendo. There's two controls going on here. One is just the volume knob. And the other one is they call it the swell knob inside of the library, which is Venus Women's Choir. So that's the green's the volume knob, and the blue is the swell knob. And between the two, I feel like that needs to drop out faster. Jako spasa. So let's cut off a little early. Bro. That's sounding better. And yes, technically that's not going to tie out. There's a bit of lag on this. Oh, that didn't help either, did it? Let's get that aligned properly. Okay, so we're just going to cut it off on the, I think that's the of, no, that's not even the that's a little past, because that's 4E and So the ah is where we start dropping off. So we're silent by the time beat 1 of measure 51 kicks off. That's the goal. That's what we're doing right now. And we're synchronizing all the things so that we can hear how it sounds. It's still kind of... It lingers. I don't know why it's lingering, because I'm pretty darn aggressive with that volume knob. It shouldn't be able to linger much at all unless my cutoff's just too late. Let's hear it. I think I am just cutting it off too late. Let's aim for the and. I'll just solo it so you don't have to do all 3 of them. That was too much. Oh, what the heck. Yeah, I'm starting to go down and they're still singing, and I don't like that. I need this to be more... Oh, that wasn't completely silent. That doesn't... That would cause problems. You're silent. I guess... Alright. What about ye... I know I got 3 tracks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, are you silent? You are silent. Neg infinity. Neg infinity. So that was the only one that was not silent. So let's give that a shot. I want that cut off as the hand's starting to go down. Let's do solo and see how that sounds. Probably a little bit earlier. Big old microphones in the way. There we go. That's better. Oh, it's too early. So naturally I am doing a bit of a I don't know if that's good, but that's what I'm doing. So let's shape that in there. I've experimented with this before and I didn't like it, but that doesn't mean I'm not gonna I'm gonna dislike it now. Every day's a new day. Maybe. Again, I've done this before and I didn't like it. I ended up undoing it. But because then it just sounds like a glitch. It's like, oh, he didn't get his libraries in. So just a subtle 2 dB kick upwards will make it... I really wish I could snap these to specific dB values because I hate seeing partial dB values. Okay. Jako spasa. Okay, now let's hear that in context. We'll mute the other 2 because they're not modified yet. I think it's a good next take. And so I'm going to save that. And then... Oh, I can move that back too. It'll be ruined. Don't do it, John. Don't do it. Too late. Da, 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 da. Okay, there we go. A nice compromise. We'll see how that goes. Mute the other two. So unsolo that. All right. Works for moi. Boom. And line that up again. There we go. Boom. Unmute you. Copy paste the new blue dots. Boom. And boom. Oh, that was not right. Get in there. Let's try that again. There we go. All the new extra dots. There we go. Let's hear how that sounds. Now the next part is how that how that organ cuts off. Because I don't want to cut off with everybody else, but it still needs to cut off. And right now that explains why it sounds weird, because it's cutting off a little after the beat. So I think we need to do something similar with just a slight 2 dB pulse there. And we're going to move. When does the choir cut off? The choir cuts off there. So let's experiment. I don't want to completely cut off with them, because I want the choir. The effect I'm going for is kind of like, you know, when something weird happens outside, like something creepy, and the birds stop singing, and it's just, that's the effect I'm going for, because something bad is happening, and that is the not bad, and that is the rockets approaching this musical story. Not bad. It needs to die out a little faster. Let's do a fast start. Or maybe a slow start, slow end. All right, getting tunnel vision. Maybe just a hair later. I'm liking how that's sounding, though. Maybe I'll actually throw that shape onto the peak there. Oh, good. I was worried I had left the explicit lyrics on. Let's see. So that sounds pretty good. Now, what I was working on was over here. I've already cleaned that up a little bit. The previous version at the start of, as of what was produced last night, was a bit muddy because I was overusing the toms. And there we go. And so there was a lot of mid-frequency stuff going on that it just wasn't sounding clean. So what I've been doing is stepping through here and trying to clean it up a little bit. Being like, does this drum need to be here or not? Because the less bulk you have, the less waste. If you trim off the fat and all that, the less you have of that, the more powerful the music is going to be. If you have too much fluff, too much excess, then it's going to muddy up the message. All right, let's solo that. So, I already cleaned up a good amount. So I'm hitting with those all together. And then, ba-doom. Ba-doom, da-doom, ba-doom, da-doom. But it is that Tom? No. Ba-da-da, ba-doom, da-doom. Interesting. I don't know if I'd like that being off the beat. Ba-dum, da-dum, ba-dum, da-dum. And I actually delay that tom hit a little further. And I don't know if I like that either. Now, we're trying to add... It's kind of a 4-bar... It's a 5/4 shape. Kind of shifted back. Because this used to be a 5/4. And I expanded it out to 8 beats, but so that's kind of, yeah, all right, so I think we've got that pretty good. All right, what's going on there? Ba-dun-dun-dun. Let's focus. This is the idea of the rockets hitting the ground, exploding, and boom, boom, boom. I'm using a lower pitch kick on that, which honestly. All right, let's stay focused on the Chaska hand. All right, those are lining up with beats now. They didn't used to do that. What's that hi-hat doing? I don't think we need the hi-hat there. Let's put that up here. Yeah, I like that. A bit of a crescendo on the second part. All right, what else we got going on here? There's a different note there. So, boom. So that's a snap. That's another snap. So let's be a bit more uniform. So that's all the same. You are different. Do I want you to be different? I think I do want that tom there because it helps lead into the 16th note fills going on in the last beat. All right, that's all right. Let's get the bass in here too, because I know it's doing some stuff as well. Is the polyplex do anything? Probably not. No, it's not. So let's turn you. We don't need you on. So it's more like a which might be good, it might not be. Let's hear it in context. I'm really kind of want that ba-da-da-da-dun, ba-da-da-da-dun, ba-da-da-da-da-da-dun, da-da-da-da-da-dun, which is that snare is ba-da-da-da-da. That's probably going to be too uniform. Oh no, that sounds pretty good. Let's do a different snare, but da 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 da. That doesn't have the same oomph though, so we'll keep it simple. I don't want kick on every single one of those. Maybe toms. Let's get. We got kick going, so I don't need the low tom here. What I do need is more. Oh, that's a hi-hat, not a mid-tom. But dun 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 dun. But dun dun dun. No, let's try that. But dun 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 dun. But dun 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 dun. Let's pull in that next beat. Let's make that 4-beat loop. Okay. Ba dun da dun 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 dun. Okay. So I like the overall pulse. I think the snare is good enough. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-dum. That reverse snare could be a little earlier. That climax is pretty early. I can probably don't need it. Yeah. Yeah, we don't need that because we got choir and all that kind of stuff happening along too. Probably the one thing we should do is a bit of a climax inside the actual stuff here. I'm going to do that after I clean up the cymbals. So cymbal action is a hot mess right now. We've got plenty of toms. We got snare. Ba-da-da-da-dum. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum. We got a hi-hat. Ba-da-da-da-da-dum. Do we even need cymbals in here? Let's turn off the solo, find out. So right now I'm hitting cymbals on the beats, which allows for it to keep the beat. So let's keep the crashes going. I'm going to take out the hi-hat. And if I need to put it back in, I will. Okay, that one's actually picking up the hi-hat action that goes through the verses. All right, let's try that full speed. Full speed I hit. I feel like we need one more cymbal in here. Okay. But I'm trying to also be realistic, barely. And I recognize that if a drummer's wailing on the snare and the toms, they're not going to be able to also hit the cymbals. So I wish I could hear just the cymbals, but I'm not hearing that. I mean, it's pretty chaotic already. Dun dun da. Okay. Okay, let's take the repeat off and just hear a bit more context. Drinking in the musty knockers. Okay, not bad, not bad. Okay, that was the next spot that I hated. And I'm actually going to turn on Pseudonym's vocals. Pseudonym is the featured artist for this vocal track because I did my own track and my wife said, for goodness sakes, hire someone. So here, I did. I posted and said, hey, I need help. And Pseudonym, who I've done gigs with in the past, he was like, hey man, I'll give it a shot. And it was pretty freaking awesome. And so that's what we're using now. All right. The hi-hat, I was really trying to have the drums complement his energy, his syncopation. Modus operandi and forgive and move on. My modus operandi is forgive and move on. Ba ba da ba da 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 da. The problem is having it layer in a way that doesn't get in the way of the vocals. You want to support the vocals, not be like, hey man, this is my gig, not yours, and which is not true. The drums are there to support. So maybe just deleting the hi-hat was good enough. But see, it needs a little more oomph. Modus operandi, forgive and move on. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba. Ba ba da ba 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 da ba da ba. All right, let's drop this down so I can hear the details. Ba ba da ba ba. So let's try something that's let's try. I mean, I'm already doing that closed hi-hat, so I don't want to do that same thing again. Not bad. It just doesn't have that oomph that I would be hoping for. I can try the crash. Let's see. So the crash is kind of nice because it goes. So the attack is not. It's there and it's a little delayed, which is what I want. Let's try picking that on. Okay, okay, let's hear it at full speed with a bit more context. Alright. Keep the groove going. I don't bump it. All right. That's not bad. I kind of want that to be moved over a little bit. Honestly, bomb. Maybe that's what I need, is just more emphasis on the beat itself. Yeah, it sounds good now. We'll see how much it sounds bad later. Because now I'm getting a little too much. All right, let's a little too much cymbal action going. Let's see if I can get the hi-hat to compensate for some of this. And that sets you up for the dropouts. Pretty cool. Nope. All right. Alright, that sounds pretty good. I wonder if I can drop that back just a little bit. No, I don't want to adjust the... I want to adjust the timings, not the volume. Just a little bit more. Da-doom. Almost felt too early. Too late. Now I mean I've got hi-hats going. I couldn't hear the hi-hat, but so let's do double time hi-hats. No. I want a high crash there. What I want is a choked. That's what I want. Unfortunately, this kit doesn't have a choke, so I'll have to manually do it after I break this out into a separate, to a dedicated transients channel. That's not bad. That's not bad. You lose some of that high frequency energy though. Okay, let's try this. Hit that a little early. See if we can get that impact to hit. That sounds like crap. Let's just put it back there. I mean, I'm using that same thing over here. So let's use the same hit there. Dum 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 doom. Yeah, get rid of that. Nope. Boom, ba-doom. And then we want a little bit of ring on the next one. What happens if I get rid of that? No, we need that extra there. Keeps the pulse going until the dropout. And I actually do want the hi-hat there. And I do miss that extra hi-hat there. Alright. Bada 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 down. So I was able to choke that with the volume. Solo that. I'm not convinced I want all that. Dun dun da da dun. Yep, I don't miss anything there. Da boom. Dun dun da da dun. Boom, da boom, da boom, da 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 dun. I need more context. All right, let's get the vocals in here. Oh, I need to unsolo it.
your pleasure, with your taste, with your guns, with your soldiers, and your fire, and your chaos, and your hate, with your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Screw. Darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Darkness, and your starvation, and suffering.
No.
Darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Hate with your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Screw you. Hate with your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Hate with your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering. Hate with your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering.
That sounds like crap.
With your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering.
Nope. I guess the low tom is just gonna be the right thing to do there.
With your lies, with your torture, and your tears, with your death, with your darkness, and your starvation, and suffering.
Yeah, I didn't notice it, so.
Why you killing my family? Screw your hell. Why you killing my peace? Screw your hell.
Yeah. So, is there anything left? I guess let's just listen to the rest of it and see. Oh, there was one thing at the beginning I wanted to tweet. I want a little bit more I wanna hit there. Yeah, there needs to be a lower crash. Honestly, I probably don't need crashes here. See if I miss them if I take them out. Yeah, I think I can leave that one out too. Let's hit that one as well. Yeah, let's line that up on the measure there. Add the claps last night. That needs to be an offset. Bop, bop. I'm doing a few of those here. And we got an extra clap going on. That's probably the polyplex. Yeah, there it is. Oh, we got multiples going on here. Nope. Where's the spot that needs to change? There it is. Alright, with some context. Yeah. Yeah, I want the claps to drop out at that point. The claps, not everything else. There we go. Let's see. I don't want to take them all out. Okay. I mean, that's everything else kind of keeping on going, so maybe I shouldn't drop that out. That's just stupid. There we go. Ba-da-ba-da-bump. No audience in their right mind is going to be kind of... well, no audience that I'm familiar with. I know some people are amazing at that stuff. Go to a Stomp concert if you want to hear that kind of clapping. All right, the choir. I was more just curious than anything. I freaking love this chord. No. 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 Oh, there. That note is the perfection. Oh. No, that's not the right track. Let's get on the right track. Where's the right track? That's the right track. No. I wonder how that sounds. It might be too warm. Ah, I love the chords. That's way too warm. I don't love that note in there. See, I love the energy of this one. I'm trying to get this next chord to sound just as emotionally like... Rah. Yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, let's drop that down. The bass in there. Yeah. Oh man, I freaking love the chords in this. I think I want to layer this in. Bruh, I needed to cut you off. There. And then we'll duplicate that one, put that there for a little extra crunch. Crunch. Heck yeah. Oh, that's so cool. All right, the last thing I want to do tonight, and I know I've gone way farther than I wanted to, but I want to do this. So, downbeat. What I've got here at the intro is a pretty long synth section. There's a problem up here. And that is that I have no earthly idea where the beat is. There are pulses, but there's no beat. And that I don't want it to become a surprise when the drum and bass comes in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want multiple pulses to be happening, but I want there to be a single primary pulse that once a person clues into it, they will be able to feel when the drums and bass come in. They will be able to feel when the melody comes in, especially with as long of an intro as I have. I'm not convinced. I'm not going to shorten that up a bit, but that's where we are right now. And the magic sauce is going to be this and yeah, see, that kind of stuff, it sounds kind of cool, but it also confuses, because it's like, wait, was that the downbeat or was that the downbeat? I don't know, because it's actually on the beat 3, and so who knows where that is. So I really need to let's see how this sounds. Okay, I'm digging that. We have a rogue in here, but I didn't dislike having that there. But we still need to give our listeners some more help finding the downbeat. Let's hear that in the full context. Oh wait, no, that was the... See? That's not good. That is not good. I want someone, once they start making that first note out, they should be on the beat. How can we make that happen? Let's see. Oh my gosh. There we go. I might regret closing that later, but it is what it is. Master, I should put an envelope on that. Approaching the downbeat. There we go. There. That is now doing that. But the bigger thing, what, how did the, I didn't want to collapse you, so I stopped seeing that. There we go. Let's go and collapse into them right now too. Butterfly stance. So butterfly stance is the arpeggiator going on. And we see how there's a very gradual entrance. And that's why we don't get it on the actual downbeat. I think I'm going to start this 2 beats early. Because the arpeggiator actually has kind of a lead in built in, a pickup built into it. That's the word I was looking for. Let me hear what that sounds like again. Ba-da-dun, ba-da-dun. So that needs to be more like a da-da-dun. Yeah, yes. Okay, and now that the low note's going to hit on the 1, it might not always do that, but it's at least going to do it on the downbeat. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Yeah, yeah. All right, I think we're getting somewhere now. And my wife might be coming, so I will drop the live stream if it looks like she's coming. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Ah, it's a little off. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, yeah, that's the pulse. That's the pulse we need. I'm glad I worked that out. Let's see about the entrance. How quickly. I feel like we should go ahead and start coming in as soon as that starts. 1, 2, 3. And let's delay your entrance until closer to the beat 2. Again, we're trying to keep a pulse going. So at beat measure 2, we're going to hit at neg 20 dB. One, two, three, four. 1, 2. Yeah, yeah. And now the listener knows where the beat is. They know when that's going to come in, and when it does come in, they're like, "Okay, we're ready for the next phase." Meanwhile, we've got the nylon twitch going on, and this guy is keeping things interesting during this a bit long intro, which might still be getting shortened. The vocalist sent some stuff to kind of introduce, because that's another thing I'm struggling with right now, is that for the first third of the piece, you have no idea there's going to be vocals in there, and suddenly, oh hey, there's vocals, and it's a rap song. What the heck? So trying to introduce that somehow without messing the ambiance. All right, let's listen to this one more time. I don't want the low note. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. Boom, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom. We'll do the bum on the 4th. be too much. Oh yeah, let's introduce the minor key here too.